Hi, my name is Ruta. Jealousy. So today I wanted to talk about what jealousy is, what it does to us, and what are the easy ways to actually relieve it from our lives. So I know that probably most of us that have been in a relationship, obviously it depends on our character, has experienced the feeling of jealousy. So I'm talking about jealousy, first of all, in the relationship. Also, I'm talking about jealousy in general, jealousy of someone having something. So the way I like to summarize what the jealousy is lack of seeing your own greatness. So when we feel jealous, usually we want that thing that other person has, and we don't think that we can get it. When we are jealous in the relationship, that means we somehow feel that we don't quite have, let's say, that person or security in the relationship. And usually all of that feeling is caused by us not feeling enough. So it's a lot to do with our beliefs, what we think about the world and how we think about resources that we have in the world, and also how we think about ourselves and what resources do we think we have in ourselves and what resources we feel we lack in ourselves. So, example, how does that apply in a situation where we're jealous of someone, for example, being rich or being famous, or let's say having a better job than us, or having a better car, or hair, or looks than we do? So, in this situation, let's say jealousy would translate like this: that thing that that person has, I would also like to have. But at this point in time, I feel pain in me because I feel like I don't have it or I can't get there. So it's not really about that particular thing. The pain is really about me. The pain is really about you. Because let's say if that would be, let's say somebody has a house that you want to have and you're jealous of that person having that house. It could be that you just want that particular house, but imagine if that would be a house like that elsewhere, or there would be maybe even a better, more beautiful house. I mean, would you be jealous then? Probably you wouldn't. Probably you would feel, oh, okay, well, okay, that person has the house that I want, but there is another house that I want, and I can get that house. Or maybe there is another house which is even better than the one that I thought that I want, and therefore I can get that other house which is even better. So the feeling of jealousy is no longer there. Also about thinking that you might not be able to get it. It's like, oh, example, of an internal dialogue. She or he has this house that I want to have, and they somehow got it. It's something that I wanted for such a long time, but I was not able to get it. They are kind of like me, but they somehow got it, and I somehow didn't get it. Um, does it mean that I can't have it? Does it mean that I'm not capable of getting it? So this feeling of like this jealousy is really feeling about something that we are lacking inside. So that applies about, let's say, things like status or material things, or let's say physical qualities. Let's break down feeling of jealousy about, let's say, beauty. There is, let's say, another girl who looks so beautiful, and let's say she's similar age to me, and she has this amazing hair, and I work on my hair so much, but my hair can never look like her hair. So whenever I look at her hair, I'm like, oh my God, I'm jealous. That means you don't really find that resource. So what is the resource? In this case, would it be you finding more hair? Would it be you getting a wig or something? In this case, for example, it would be that you have your own hair. It could be that maybe physically or genetically is not as great as the hair of that other girl. And you feel like somehow the hair that you have is lacking. The hair that you have is somehow not adequate. Because, for example, if let's say one girl has a thick hair, black hair, dark hair, full hair, and let's say I have blonde hair, it's my hair is quite thin. I could want that and I could feel jealous. Or let's say if I would feel like I'm not liking, I would recognize that, okay, well, my genetical makeup is completely different. Mother Nature or my mom and dad gave me completely different genetical structure. So my hair is this blonde hair, soft hair, fine hair. And okay, let me just make the best out of it. And you can admire that other person, but you would not be feeling this stinging sensation of painful jealousy, because you wouldn't feel like you are lacking. You would feel like, okay, well, I got what I got. She has something else and I have this, and then okay, I'm just going to work with what I got. Okay, jealousy in relationship. What happens in the jealousy in relationship? When we are jealous of our partner, for example, we are jealous of attention that our partner gets, or let's say let's say our partner looks at another girl or man, and it depends on the relationship that you are in, and we're like, I actually had that myself, so this is actually perfect example. And at that point, we feel huge level of insecurity. So at that point, we feel, wow, I'm somehow losing something from my relationship by him doing that, or by him showing attention to someone else, or by someone else showing attention to him. Um, there is a possibility that I might lose this relationship. It shows that there is a lack of security in this relationship, and it shows that there's somehow lack of adequacy that you feel about yourself in the relationship. And the way to heal it is actually look into what you have, what is unique about you. I know it sounds cliche, but when you take it in a very simple way and then you start to apply it, like for example, okay, my partner looks at another girl and she's very beautiful, and then you start to look at yourself and it's like, am I beautiful enough? Am I good enough? Am I interesting enough? At one point in jealousy in the relationship, you will need to heal that, to decide that it's not about you. What the other person is doing is not really about you. So for jealousy in a relationship, you need to kind of separate. Your partner does whatever they do, not because of you, but because of whatever they want to do. And of course, you can communicate your boundaries and to say like, okay, don't look at other girls, or don't speak to other girls. And obviously it depends on, for example, if you have agreed to have a monogamous relationship, and or it would be also to do with clarity of rules in the relationship. What is okay, what is not okay, is looking okay, is talking okay, or no looking, no talking, or looking and talking it's okay, but meeting and for whatever the reason is not okay. So basically it depends exactly on the rules in a relationship. However, if you have this kind of feeling of jealousy keep on arising in yourself, at one point you will need to look in yourself and to see what is that thing that you feel is inadequate about you. So what is that thing that I feel is inadequate about me? So for example, in my situation, in my relationship, how I healed jealousy. So do I have it? Let me check. Kind of like emotional tuning. There might be some kind of like traces of jealousy still in, but at the beginning I was actually, I think because of my previous relationship where I had history of, let's say, my partner being disloyal, unfaithful, I already have this kind of like a priming to be on the extra alert, like, oh, am I safe? Is this relationship safe? So that's kind of one level of trauma that can be removed, once you communicate with the partner. I have communicated with my partner about that insecurity. We were talking about it. I got assurance from him, about me. I'm important to him. He loves me. He wants to be with me. So all of these things are kind of step one. You need to have these things from your partner to make you feel secure. If you have that, but you still feel, let's say, jealous and insecure, I'm not talking about the situations where you may have a ground for that, and it could be your intuition telling you something, that something is going on. But for example, in a relationship that is actually quite secure, if you have that jealousy arising, the next step, after all is communicated, the rules are agreed, is to actually look into yourself. Okay, so what is that thing that is the most painful? So what is that thing about that jealousy that is most painful? For me, it was the thing that I could probably summarize as saying, feeling that, okay, that means there is something lacking in me, like I'm not enough. So the wound was, I'm not enough. So I actually then had to go into feeling of being not enough and actually go to the bottom of that feeling. I'm not enough. Okay, what am I? I'm not enough in. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not clever enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not funny enough. What is not enough about me? So I actually had to go really deeply and kind of explore it with myself to come out clear, to come out clean with myself. Do I think I'm enough in all of these areas? So do I think I'm a good enough, let's say, in how I look? Am I good enough in how I show my care? Am I good enough in how I show my love? Am I good enough in how I take care of myself and how I take care of my dreams and the hopes and the things that I want to do? So once I actually had that inventory about myself, I also looked at the threat or the object that was object of my jealousy, for example, other pretty girls. And I looked at, let's say, other pretty girls as my, let's say, trigger for jealousy. That, for example, my partner would like and he would look, and then I was like, okay, you know what? The reality is, yes, those girls are pretty, and yes, they look good. And I also had to be honest with myself. So if there is a good looking guy, don't I look? Do I completely ignore? I may not look obviously, but I do look, and I do like the good looks, for example. So I do the same. Maybe not so obviously, because I think sometimes, and this is kind of like a, I guess, difference between men and women. Sometimes men are kind of more honest or obvious about their feelings, depends on the character, or so there is no kind of hiding. And I think in my situation, that's exactly what, like my partner, he was like, oh, beautiful girl, okay. And I'm like, oh my god, is my relationship safe? Am I, does he love me? Am I okay? What does it mean about me? And then after I actually done all of that exploration, what I found is my reaction has changed completely. I'm like, okay, am I adequate? Am I enough? And once I decided that I'm adequate and that I'm enough, and let's say the threat is not real, because when you think about relationship, is what is the relationship? Is the relationship is only with the looks of the person, or the relationship is actually with the character of the person? And once you have that inventory and you have that, okay, well, we have conversations, we have good times together, we have plans together, we have reassurance from each other about how we feel in the relationship and, for example, our direction where we want to go. What else is missing? Is there anything missing? Or I think all of these things that we have are good enough. And am I good enough to have this relationship? Once I decided that, then after that, I was secure with the package that I got in me, and my jealousy kind of like dissipated. So I think for anyone who is struggling with jealousy in a relationship, a very useful thing to do is to do this kind of like an internal inventory first and foremost, because once you remove that, there is a whole different story. Once you remove that internal, let's say, inadequacy, when you remove this internal insecurity, once you remove that, am I enough, am I not enough, once you remove that from the equation from yourself, all is left is actually your relationship and your partner. So you no longer feel this super painful feeling of jealousy. Then you can look and you can check if your relationship adequate, is your relationship secure, is what your partner is doing appropriate or not appropriate. I know in some cultures, for example, you're not even allowed to look, let's say, at people of opposite gender if you already have a relationship. But in the Western culture, it's slightly different. So there are things that are acceptable and there are things that are not acceptable. And then it also depends on your own behavior and what you say is okay, and also what you do yourself. Another good thing to own your jealousy is kind of like you own how you create jealousy in the other person in the relationship. So if you had any situations where, for example, your partner has been jealous, then you're like, okay, so I made them feel the same way as he or she made me feel. So I did the same thing. So uh, So I have and you can also look at your intentions at the time when you made the other person jealous. Did you have intention to leave the relationship? Were you thinking that your partner is not good enough? Were you comparing that person with your partner? Or you were just like looking, oh, okay, it's a beautiful looking guy. So that would be my thoughts and my advice on jealousy in the relationship and what I think jealousy is. So to summarize it, once again, jealousy is not seeing your internal resources and perceiving lack or your capacity to get something that you want. So thank you for watching. My name is Ruta. I am holistic coach, emotional integration practitioner, and trauma integration specialist. So if you have any questions about this, or you have any comments about jealousy or situations that you have with jealousy in your life, please feel free, comment, send me questions, and I'll be happy to answer. I also do lives on Facebook. If you want, you can join my page, Ruta Ka, Holistic Health, and I can even meet you live. So thank you for watching. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.